The rain fell softly on the city of New Vetra, covering everything with a silver glow. The tall glass towers stood high above the clouds. Flying cars passed silently in the sky. The streets below were darker, forgotten by the rich and powerful. Neon lights blinked in shop windows. Steam rose from the vents in the ground. Rian walked alone near the lower levels of the city. He wore a long coat, his head low, avoiding attention. He was only 25, but already one of the richest men in the city. He had created a powerful AI system that ran most of the city's technology, but Rian did not like the spotlight. He stayed away from parties, shows, and cameras. He liked silence. Tonight he had come out for a walk. Sometimes he walked in the lower streets to remember the place where he grew up. It helped him stay human in a world full of machines. As he passed under a bridge, he heard a soft cry. Not a normal cry. It was a baby's weak voice, mixed with pain. He stopped. Then he heard coughing. A baby's cough. He looked around and saw a small shape in the shadows. A young woman was sitting on the cold ground, holding a baby close to her chest. Her clothes were wet. Her hands were shaking. The baby was wrapped in a torn blanket. His face was pale, and he was breathing fast. Rian slowly walked closer. The girl looked up. "Afraid, I'm not here to hurt you," Rian said softly. "Is the baby sick?" She nodded but didn't speak. "He needs a doctor," Rian said. "We have no money," she replied, her voice shaking. "They don't help people like us." Rian knelt beside them. The baby coughed again. A small line of blood came from his nose. "I can help," Rian said. "Come with me. I have a place. It's warm. There's food. I can call a doctor." The girl looked at him with wide eyes. She didn't know if she could trust him. Many people made promises in the lower streets. Most were lies. "Why?" she asked. "Why would you help us?" Rian didn't answer right away. He looked at the baby, then at her. "Because I can," he said. The girl looked down at her child. The baby was getting weaker. She had no choice. "Okay," she whispered. Rian helped her stand. He pressed a small button on his wrist. A quiet hover car appeared nearby. The doors opened. Inside was clean and warm. The girl sat with the baby in her arms. She didn't speak. "What's your name?" Rian asked. "Mira," she said. "And my son is Nilo." "I'm Rian." She looked surprised. She had heard that name before, the young tech genius. But she said nothing. The car flew high above the city, then stopped at the top of a tall tower. The doors opened into a bright, beautiful penthouse. Everything was white and silver. Plants grew along the walls. Screens showed the weather and news. A soft female voice greeted them. "Welcome home, Rian." "This is my home," Rian said to Myra. "You and Nilo can stay here for now. There's food, clean clothes, and a med pod in the next room." Mira didn't know what to say. She had never seen a place like this. "Why are you doing this?" she asked again. Rian paused. "When I was young," he said, "I lived in the lower streets too. My mother died when I was 10. I lived alone for years. One day, someone gave me a chance. That changed my life." Now Mira understood. He saw something in her, maybe her pain, maybe her fear, and remembered his own past. "Thank you," she whispered. Rian called the eye doctor. A small drone flew out and scanned the baby. Lights blinked on its screen. "Patient, Nilo, age 6 months. Condition, critical. Symptoms, weak immune system, internal infection, unstable DNA markers." "DNA markers?" Rian asked. "Yes, the baby's blood contains unknown patterns, not found in human database." Rian looked at Mira. She looked down silent. "Can you treat him?" he asked. "Yes," the AI said. "Treatment will begin now." The drone flew Nilo into a clear chamber. Soft lights began to heal his small body. Mira stood next to the chamber, tears in her eyes. Rian stood beside her, silent. That night, Rian gave Mira a room with a soft bed, new clothes, and a view of the stars. She stood by the window, holding Nilo gently after the treatment. The baby was sleeping better now. In the other room, Rian looked at the DNA report. The IS scan had shown something strange. The baby's DNA had patterns that were not human. Something else was inside him. Something alien. Rian did not understand it yet. But he knew one thing. This was not just about kindness anymore. It was the beginning of something bigger. The morning sun rose over New Vetra, shining softly through the high glass windows of Rian's penthouse. The sky was clear, and the clouds moved slowly like ships in the air. Inside the quiet home, Mira sat on a white couch, holding little Nilo. In her arms, the baby looked stronger. His cheeks had color, and his breathing was smooth. Rian walked into the room holding 2 cups of warm tea. "Good morning," he said. Mira looked up and gave a small smile. "Thank you for everything." He nodded and sat across from her. "The treatment helped," she said, looking down at Nilo. "He is finally sleeping in peace." Rian looked at the baby. "Yes, but there's something strange. I read the medical report last night." Mira's smile slowly faded. "What did it say?" she asked quietly. Rian placed the cup down and leaned forward. "The scanner found unknown patterns in Nilo's DNA. They are not in any human database. It's like something from another world." Mira's hands shook. She pulled Nilo closer. Rian noticed her fear. "Mira," he said gently, "I'm not here to hurt you, but I need to know the truth. It may help him." She looked at the floor for a long moment. Then she spoke. "I lived in Sector 9, near the old docks," she began. 2 years ago, I worked in a factory. One night, while walking home, I saw a light in the sky. It was not from any ship I knew. It landed near the edge of the city. I should have walked away, but I was curious." Her voice trembled slightly. "There was a crash. I found a strange metal object buried in the ground. Inside was a being, not human, but not scary. He was wounded. I helped him. He didn't speak, but his eyes were kind. I hid him in an empty warehouse for a few days." Rian listened carefully. He did not speak, just waited. Then one night, he was gone. But before leaving, he touched my forehead. I don't know how, but I could feel his thoughts. He said thank you. Months later, I found out I was pregnant." She looked at Nilo. "I didn't tell anyone. Who would believe me?" Rian leaned back, trying to understand. "So, Nilo's father was not from Earth?" Mira nodded. "I didn't ask for this life. I just wanted to help. But now Nilo is sick, and I don't know why." There was silence between them for a while. Only the soft hum of the room could be heard. Rian finally stood and walked to the control panel on the wall. He tapped a few buttons. The medical scan of Nilo appeared on the screen. Strange glowing lines crossed his DNA, forming symbols no one could read. "This is beyond our science," Rian said. "But I know people who can help." Quietly. "Will they take him away?" Mira asked quickly. "No," Rian replied. "I won't let that happen. You saved someone once. Now it's my turn to protect you both." Mira's eyes filled with tears, but she wiped them quickly. Later that day, Rian made a private call to a friend, a man named Jonas, a quiet scientist who once worked for the top biotech company, Halron Corp. Jonas now lived alone, away from the city. After leaving his job for reasons he never explained, Jonas agreed to come the next day. That night, Rian gave Mira the code to his home security. "You can move freely," he said. "This place is yours now too." "Why are you doing this?" Mira asked once again. "You don't know me." "I know enough," he replied. "You were alone, but still chose to help someone not of this world. That says everything." The next morning, Jonas arrived. He was a short man with silver hair. a sharp mind, and kind eyes. He wore a simple coat and carried a black case filled with tools and scanners. Rian welcomed him and explained the situation. Jonas did not laugh or doubt. He simply nodded and said, "Show me the data." He spent hours studying the DNA scan. Mira stayed close to Nilo, never leaving his side. Jonas used special tools to recheck the baby's blood. After a long silence, he spoke. "This child," Jonas said slowly, "is a miracle. His DNA carries more than life. It carries information." Rian frowned. "What kind of information?" Jonas tapped his tablet. "It's like a code. A message. But not in any human language. A message from who?" Rian asked. Jonas looked serious. "From wherever the father came from. It's hidden deep in the baby's blood, and it's not finished yet. The baby's cells are changing slowly. The message is growing. Is that why he's sick?" Mira asked. "Yes," Jonas nodded. "His body is not fully human. Earth's environment may be too harsh for part of him. But if we understand the message, we might also find the cure." That night, Rian stood alone on the balcony, looking out over the shining city. His thoughts were heavy. This was no longer about one baby or one mother. Nilo might be the key to something much larger. He opened his communicator and checked the name Halron Corp. They had once offered to buy his AI system. He refused. He didn't like their secrets. Now he remembered rumors that Halron had been searching for hybrid subjects for years. If they found out about Nilo, Rian closed the screen. He would not let that happen. The rain had returned to New Vetra, falling softly over the glowing city. But inside Rian's penthouse, things were not peaceful anymore. The red alert light on his screen kept blinking. Something strange had happened, a small burst of unknown energy inside the home. Rian looked closer at the security report. The system had detected the energy coming from Nilo, but only for a few seconds. It was not electricity, not fire, not anything normal. It was like a signal, quiet but powerful. Rian turned off the screen and walked to the living room. Mira was sitting on the floor with Nilo wrapped in a warm blanket. She looked tired but calm. "He's been glowing sometimes," she whispered. Without looking up, only for a second or two. "You noticed it?" Rian asked gently. "Yes," she nodded. "It started after Jonas ran those scans." Rian sat beside her. "I think someone else may have noticed it too," he said. "Our system picked it up. If someone out there is searching for this kind of energy, they might now be watching." Mira's face changed. Her arms held Nilo tighter. "You think they'll come for him?" she asked, fear rising in her voice. "I don't know," Rian said honestly. "But I'll make sure they don't take him. Not while you're under my roof." That night, Rian activated the private defense shield around his home. It was a high-tech barrier invisible to the eye, but strong enough to block even military drones. He also changed all communication lines and shut down outside access to his systems. Still, he couldn't shake off a strange feeling in his chest, like something was moving closer. The next morning, as Rian was checking the outer scans, Jonas returned with more results. "I found something," Jonas said quickly. "That energy burst. It's part of a larger system. Nilo's body is slowly building a biological transmitter." "A transmitter?" Rian repeated. "Yes," Jonas nodded. "It looks like his DNA is preparing to send a message. Not just to Earth, maybe to space." Myra gasped. "What kind of message?" "I don't know yet," Jonas replied. "But the patterns match some of the old alien signals that Halron Corp studied years ago." Rian looked up. "You worked at Halron. Did they ever succeed in finding alien contact?" "No," Jonas said. "But they tried. They had a secret program. They believed that alien DNA could be mixed with human genes. They were hunting for proof." Rian understood immediately. "If they hear about Nilo, they'll want him." Jonas lowered his voice. They may already know. Halrun still has satellite eyes across the city. They scan for rare energy types. And Nilo just made a signal they won't ignore. An hour later, Rian got the proof. On his private screen, an unmarked drone was seen flying close to his tower. It didn't belong to the city. It was quiet, black, and moved with purpose. Mira stood behind him, watching. Is that? Yes, Rian said. It's not from the government. It's corporate. It's them. He activated the outer shield. The drone turned and flew away, fast. They're checking, Rian said. They're looking for Nilo. That night Mira couldn't sleep. She walked softly through the house, holding Nilo close. She passed large windows that showed the dark city below. Lights flickered in the distance. Somewhere out there, powerful people were watching, waiting. She stepped onto the balcony and looked at the stars. Nilo opened his eyes. For a second, his small hand glowed again, just a soft blue light. A tear rolled down Mira's cheek. She didn't ask for this life. She didn't ask to meet a being from another world. But now she had Nilo, and she would. Never give him up. Behind her, Rian spoke. You should stay inside. It's not safe out here, Mira turned. I just needed to breathe. He walked beside her and looked at the stars too. I know how it feels to be hunted, Rian said. Once, when I was 15, a gang chased me because I hacked into their illegal system. I had no one. I had to sleep on rooftops, hide in trash bins. I thought I wouldn't live another day. Mira listened quietly, but one day, a stranger gave me shelter, no questions, no price. That one choice saved my life. She looked at him. That's why you helped me. He nodded. I just wanted to pass it on. The next day, things moved fast. Jonas warned them. We don't have much time. If Halrun really wants Nilo, they'll come quietly, and they'll come soon. Rian began preparing. He built a digital firewall around his penthouse, cutting off access to all city networks. He brought in invisible drones to watch the skies. He even ordered an underground exit to be ready in case escape was needed. He also gave Mira a small bracelet. This will protect you, he said. It hides your signal. If we ever get separated, it will bring you to safety. Mira held the bracelet tightly. Thank you, she said again. Rian simply nodded. His eyes were sharp now. Calm, but strong. That evening, while the house was quiet, Jonas called Rian to the lab room. I decoded part of the message inside Nilo's DNA, Jonas said. What does it say? Jonas showed him a screen. It had symbols and translated text. They are coming. This child is the seed. Earth must choose peace or be judged. Rian stared at the words. What does that mean? I think this child is not just a child, Jonas said. He's a signal to his father's world, a living message. Maybe even a test. Rian's mind raced. Nilo was more than a baby. He was a connection between worlds. And the wrong people wanted to control him. That night, Mira had a dream. She was standing in a field of stars, holding Nilo. A shadow moved in the sky. A voice whispered, not in words, but in feelings. Protect the light, or the darkness will fall. She woke up with a start, and outside the window, far in the sky, a small ship blinked in the clouds, watching. It had been 4 days since the drone was seen near Rian's tower. Since then, he had not lowered the shield even once. The outside world had no access to his home now. No signals, no cameras, no trackers. Inside the penthouse, silence lived. Like an old guest, Mira stayed close to Nilo, who still slept more than usual. His body was stronger, but the blue light inside him came and went like waves. Sometimes it glowed bright in his tiny hands. Other times, it faded like a forgotten candle. In the private lab, Rian and Jonas worked day and night, studying Nilo's DNA scans and the strange patterns growing inside him. The more they searched, the more questions they found. Each day, New symbols are forming in his cells, Jonas said one evening. It's like someone is building a message inside his body, piece by piece. A message from his fathers. Species? Rian asked. I believe so, Jonas said. And it's not just a message. It might be a kind of key to what? Jonas looked at the screen carefully. To open something. A portal. A signal. Or maybe a decision. That night, Mira stood in the baby's room, looking at the stars through the glass wall. Nilo was in his soft sleep cradle, his face calm, a soft blue light on his chest. Rian joined her. He looks peaceful. He is, Mira said. But I can feel something. Growing in him, not sickness, something else. I don't understand it, but I know it's important. Rian nodded. Jonas says Nilo's DNA holds a code that might connect to another world. Mira closed her eyes for a moment. Then maybe his father left it there. A way to speak. A way to warn. A warning? Rian asked. She looked at him slowly. When I touched that being, his thoughts came into mine. I felt sadness, but also fear. I think something is coming. Something that can hurt this world. The next morning, Jonas called Rian urgently. His voice was shaking. I decoded another part of the DNA message. Rian and Mira rushed into the lab. Jonas pointed at the screen. A new line had appeared in the digital translation. Human hands hold the future. If greed wins, peace dies. Rian stared. It's a warning. Yes, Jonas said. And I believe Halran Corp already knows. Mira turned pale. But how? Because, Jonas said slowly, the code in Nilo is sending signals. Very faint, but real. And I just found a match in Halran's secret files. They've seen this kind of pattern before, long ago. You said you left Halran because they were doing illegal experiments, Rian reminded him. Yes, Jonas said. They were trying to create hybrid children from alien DNA, but they failed. Nilo is the first real one. They'll do anything to get him. Rian stood up. His voice was calm, but strong. Then we must act before they do. We can't hide forever. We need to expose Halran's truth to the world, but how? Mira asked. We'll use what they want, Rian said. We'll use the code. If we unlock the full message, we can show the world what's really happening. But the code is not complete, Jonas said. Then we'll help complete it, Rian replied. We'll finish what Nilo's father started. Rian sent a signal to one of his old AI systems, Core 1, a deep learning engine that he had built and hidden long ago. It could understand languages, patterns, and data at a level no other machine could. Core 1 connected to the lab. Core 1 online. How may I assist? The voice said, We have alien code in a human child's DNA, Rian said. I need you to decode it fully and show us its true meaning. Input received. Beginning translation, the AI replied. Mira held Nilo in her arms. The blue light in his chest began to glow slowly, as if responding to the AI. For 5 minutes, nothing happened. Then, the screen lit up. The full message appeared in large white letters. We are watchers, we are not gods. We gave light, not chains. If you protect the child, your kind will rise. If you harm the child, the gate will close forever. Jonas read the words aloud. Rian took a deep breath. So this is a test? Yes, Jonas said. The child is not only part alien. He is a gift and a judgment. Mira looked at Nilo, her hands trembling. What gate will close? Possibly. Jonas said, a gate to peace, to connection, maybe even to the stars. Suddenly, Core 1 spoke again. Warning. Unauthorized system ping detected. Source. Halran Corp satellite drone. Hidden scan signal intercepted. They found us, Rian said quickly. They're watching again. He activated the outer shield again, but this time, a soft alarm rang. External shield damaged in Sector 3. They're testing our defenses, Rian said. They know where we are. Mira stepped back, holding Nilo tightly. Jonas turned pale. If they attack, they won't come as scientists. They'll come with weapons. Rian walked to his security panel and tapped quickly. Prepare evacuation plan, he said to Core 1. Activate the safe tunnel under the tower. Get a hover van ready. Quiet, no lights. Command received, ETA 12 minutes. Mira looked at Rian. You think we'll have to run? He nodded. Yes, but this time, not just to hide. We're going to reveal the truth. I have enough data. If we reach a safe place, we can release the code to the world. Jonas stepped forward. I know a place outside the city. A research bunker I built long ago. Hidden. Safe. Rian nodded. Good, then that's where we go. That night, Mira packed quietly. She didn't have many things, just Nilo's blanket, some clothes, and an old photo of her parents. Nilo slept in a small pod, his light glowing like a heartbeat. Rian stood at the glass wall, watching the city. In the sky above, a small dark dot hovered again. The shadow was back, but this time, Rian was ready. The lights in the city of New Vetra shined like stars on the ground, but above the glowing towers, danger floated silently. Another drone had entered Rian's airspace, this one bigger, slower, and armed. Its black shape was hidden by the night clouds, but Core 1 had already tracked it. Defense shield holding at 97%. The AI announced. Rian stood in front of the screen, his jaw tight. How many times have they scanned us in the last hour? 4, Core 1 replied. This one is broadcasting the signal toward Halron Corp's main satellite. They're getting bold, Jonas said, walking into the room. They know. We have the child, Rian said. They want him, and they don't care who they hurt to get him. Mira entered with Nilo in her arms. The baby was awake now. His eyes shined faintly with a soft blue glow, and his little hands were warm too. The touch. The alien light inside him was growing stronger. Rian turned toward her. We leave in 10 minutes. Is the safe path ready? She asked. Yes, Jonas said. My bunker outside the city is still hidden. It has food, power, and an old shield system. They won't find us easily. Rian nodded. We'll upload the full DNA message once we reach there. The world needs to know. Mira looked down at Nilo. He's our message. Everything was almost ready. The hover van was waiting in the hidden tunnel below the tower. Core 1 had locked the building and disabled all public networks. Mira packed only the things she truly needed. Nilo's clothes, his medicine, and the blanket he loved. Jonas walked into his old lab one last time, checking his equipment. There was a strange look in his eyes. He touched a small silver disc in his coat pocket, then stared at the baby's DNA scans one last time. Quietly, he opened a side panel on his tablet and copied the scan onto the disc. Then he sent a short, encrypted message from his hidden device. Subject confirmed. Location secure. Preparing handoff. He turned off the device and walked back out with a smile on his face. 5 minutes later, the group moved down the private elevator. The walls were dark metal. The floor moved quietly under their feet. Mira held Nilo. Rian stood beside her, eyes watching every corner. Jonas stayed near the back. Silent. When they reached the underground tunnel, the hover van opened. Rian helped Mira and Nilo inside. He turned to Jonas and nodded. Drive fast and quiet. Jonas climbed into the front seat. His hands were steady, but his heart was heavy. They left the city quickly, moving through empty tunnels and back roads. The world outside the windows changed. Tall towers became small buildings. Neon signs became quiet fields. Inside the van, Mira watched Nilo sleep peacefully. Rian sat beside her. We're almost there, she nodded. I never thought I would escape the lower streets, and now I'm here, running for my child's life. You're not running, Rian said. You're protecting the future. After 2 hours, they reached a dark hill covered with stone and plants. Hidden behind a thick door was Jonas's old bunker. It had no outside lights, no loud machines, only silence. They entered carefully. Inside was a small lab, a bedroom, food storage, and computers. It smelled like dust and old memories. Jonas activated the main power. We're safe here. At least for now. Mira placed Nilo in a warm cradle near the corner. Rian started setting up the data upload system. We'll release the full message soon, he said. Once the truth is out, Halrin can't hide anymore. Jonas stood at the door, his eyes on the van outside. Then he slowly stepped out and whispered into his hidden earpiece. Target inside. Send team. Back inside, Core 1 connected with the satellite. The screen blinked as Rian began uploading the alien DNA code. Each symbol glowed, then turned into words. Protect the child. Your choice will shape the stars. Suddenly, the lights flickered. Rian paused. That's not right. Jonas stepped forward. Could be power fluctuation from the old system. Mira looked uneasy. She picked up Nilo and stepped back. Then Core 1 spoke. Alert. External. Link request detected. Data being copied to unauthorized device. Rian turned. Who did that? Jonas froze. Rian's eyes locked on Jonas. It's you. Jonas slowly took the silver disc from his pocket. I'm sorry, Jonas said. I didn't want it to happen like this, but I had no choice. Halrin still owns me. They found me before you did. They promised. Safety, Myra gasped. You told them where we are? Jonas nodded. They're coming now. Suddenly, a loud sound hit the roof. A ship. Then boots hit the ground. Halron agents had arrived. Rian grabbed Mira's hand. Run! Through the back tunnel. He opened the escape hatch and pushed her through. Take Nilo, don't stop. Mira ran, holding Nilo tight. Jonas reached for a cum device, but Rian kicked it out of his hand and grabbed his collar. You betrayed a child, Rian said with quiet rage. You betrayed all of us. Jonas looked ashamed. I didn't mean to hurt him. I just wanted to survive. Rian let go. Then survive on your own. He locked Jonas inside the lab and ran after Mira. Outside, Halrin's soldiers entered the bunker, scanning everything. One of them opened the lab and found Jonas sitting on the floor. Where's the child? The leader asked. Gone, Jonas said quietly. I was too late. Meanwhile, Rian and Mira reached the forest near the back of the hill. The stars above were bright. A soft blue light glowed from Nilo's chest again. Mira whispered. Is he okay? He's strong, Rian said. Stronger than all of us. They moved deeper into the woods, hiding under the cover of night. Behind them, the bunker burned. Rian had activated a self-destruct on the system. The data was gone. The truth was safe, for now. Myra sat beside a tree, rocking Nilo gently. Rian stood watch, holding a small energy shield. We'll rest here tonight, he said. Then keep moving. Where will we go? She asked. To people I trust, Rian replied. There's a group that fights against Halrin's power. If we reach them, we can still share the truth with the world. Mira looked down at Nilo. The baby smiled in his sleep, despite the danger, despite the fear. There was hope. And hope was enough. The sun rose slowly over the dark forest. Light touched the trees where Rian, Mira, and baby Nilo had hidden through the night. The ground was cold, but the air was fresh. Birds chirped quietly, unaware of the danger that had passed just hours ago. Mira sat under a tree, holding Nilo close. He was warm, breathing softly. His glowing light had faded again, but Mira knew it would return. He was changing more each day, not just his body but something deeper, something powerful. Rian stood nearby, watching the sky through a small device. In his hand, no drones in sight, he said. We're clear for now. Mira looked up at him. Where do we go now? There's one last way, Rian replied. If we want to stop Halren for good, we have to go inside. Inside? Mira asked, confused. We break into their main building, Rian said. We find the master file where they keep all the data about alien research. Then we upload Nilo's full DN, a message from there. Their own network will spread it to the world. They can't stop it. Myra looked shocked. That's too dangerous. Rian nodded. Yes, but it's the only way now. They traveled for hours across quiet lands, staying low and off-grid. Rian contacted a few people from his past, not friends, but allies. People who once helped him build secret systems, and who now lived outside of the law dot at an abandoned tech station deep in the old industrial zone. They met Levin, a tall woman with short silver hair and sharp eyes. She had been a city hacker before Halren forced her underground. You're lucky I still like you. Rian, she said with a smirk. I need your help, Rian said. One job, big risk. Levin raised an eyebrow. What's the job? We're going to break into Halren Tower. For a moment, she said nothing. Then she smiled. You always did like impossible things. Inside the old station, Levin opened a dusty box and pulled out small black discs. These are shadow pins. They hide energy from sensors for 5 minutes. Place them on the cameras inside Halren and they'll go blind. She looked at Mira. And Nalo, is this the alien child? Mira stepped back slightly, but Rian placed a hand on her shoulder. He's not a weapon. He's a message. Levin looked at the baby for a long time. He's more than that. He's a key. They've been searching for him for years, Rian nodded. That's why we have to end it now. That night, the team of 5 prepared for the mission. It was Rian, Mira, Levin, 2 silent tech runners, and Nilo. Jonas was gone, but his betrayal had only made them stronger. They dressed in dark suits that blocked heat signals. Levin had hacked into Halren's gate schedule. They would enter through the underground service tunnel at 3:12 a.m. Rian gave Mira a special backpack with soft padding for Nilo. He'll be safe in here, he said. Myra looked nervous. I've never done anything like this. You saved him more than once, Rian replied. You're stronger than you think. At exactly 3:12 a.m., they reached the Halren Corp main tower. It was massive, a dark silver building that rose like a sword into the sky. The lights inside were dim, but the security systems were always active. Using Levin's codes, they entered through the old maintenance door. No alarms went off. They moved quietly through the tunnels, placing shadow pins on cameras and sensors. Rian led them with steady steps. Mira stayed close, Nilo asleep on her back. After 10 minutes, they reached the data core room. This was the heart of Halren's secret storage. Inside were thousands of files, some from Earth, some not. This is it, Rian said. Levin plugged in her tool. The screen lit up with strange symbols and locked files. I can open this, she said, but I need 3 minutes. Suddenly, a voice came from the hallway. Step away from the console. They turned. Halren soldiers in black armor had arrived, 6 of them. Guns raised. The team froze. Rian stepped forward. We're not here to fight. The leader of the soldiers stepped closer. He looked straight at Nilo. That child is coming with us. Mira shouted, No! The soldier pointed his gun. Move aside. This is your last warning. Then Nilo began to glow. Bright blue light shined from his chest and hands. The soldiers hesitated. What is that? One of them whispered. The light grew stronger. Then, from the center of the glow, a pulse spread through the room. Not sound but feeling. Deep wave of emotion filled the space. Not fear. Not anger. Peace. The soldiers lowered their weapons slowly, their eyes wide. Rian whispered, He's speaking. The lead soldier dropped his gun and fell to his knees. It's like I can feel him inside my mind. Mira held Nilo gently. The baby's glow faded slowly, and he slept again. Levin turned to the computer. Upload complete. The message had been sent. All of Halrin's secrets were now open. The truth about their experiments, the search for alien DNA, the plans to capture hybrid children, all now visible to the world. But most important of all, Nilo's message. We came not to rule, but to learn. We watched from the stars. This child is a bridge. If you protect him, your world will rise with peace. If you destroy him, you will close your sky forever. Rian looked at the soldiers. You can arrest us if you want. But the world already knows. The soldiers didn't move. Then slowly, the leader stood. He looked at Nilo one last time and sighed, "Go. This building is no longer ours." They stepped aside. Rian, Mira, and the team walked past them, quiet and steady. They left through the same tunnel, no alarms. No bullets. Only silence. And hope. Hours later, the news spread everywhere. All screens across Earth played the message. People from every nation watched the blue light in the baby's chest and heard the words from beyond the stars. Some cried. Some prayed. Many simply watched in silence. The child they once feared was now the child they must protect. Rian and Mira stood on a small hill outside the city, holding Nilo between them. The baby opened his eyes. For the first time they glowed like the stars. The city of New Vetra was quiet at dawn. The sky was painted with soft colors, pink, orange, and gold. The world was waking up to a new day, but nothing would ever be the same. Rian, Mira, and baby Nilo stood on the hill overlooking the city. The message had spread across Earth, and people everywhere were talking about the child with the glowing heart. For the first time, Mira smiled without fear. Nilo was no longer just a sick baby. He was a symbol of hope. Weeks passed since the message went public. Governments and scientists studied Nilo's DNA, but no one could explain the full meaning of the code. Still, the world had changed. People began to look up at the stars differently. They wondered if other beings were watching, waiting to connect. Fear slowly turned into curiosity. Rian had returned to his work, but with a new purpose. He used his resources to help families like Mira's, those who were homeless or sick. He opened shelters and clinics, promising a better future. Mira stayed by Nilo's side, watching him grow stronger every day. The blue light that once flickered now shone softly in his eyes. A quiet power that spoke of something bigger than anyone could understand. One evening, as the sun set, Rian and Mira sat together in the penthouse. Nilo played on the floor, laughing softly. "Do you think they will come?" Mira asked. "Who?" Rian replied. "His people. The watchers from the stars." Rian looked at Nilo and smiled. "If they do, I hope it is to be friends, not enemies." Mira nodded. Nilo is a bridge, between worlds, between hearts. Suddenly, the room filled with a soft hum. The lights dimmed, and a shimmering blue circle appeared in the air. From the circle, a figure stepped forward. It was tall and calm, with glowing eyes and gentle hands. "Do not be afraid," the figure said. "We are the Watchers. We have come to welcome Nilo." Rian and Mira stood, holding each other's hands tightly. Nilo looked up, his eyes shining with recognition. The Watcher smiled. "Your child carries the light of peace. He will help both our worlds learn and grow." The Watcher reached out and touched Nilo's forehead. A warm wave spread through the room. The blue light in the baby's chest glowed brighter. "You are safe now," the Watcher said. "And so is your world." Then the circle faded, and the room was bright again. Days later, Rian, Mira, and Nilo visited the places that had once been dark and cold. Now they were filled with life and hope. Children laughed in the streets. Families helped each other. The world was healing. Nilo grew stronger, but he never forgot where he came from. One night, as Myra rocked Nilo to sleep, she whispered, "You are the future, little one." the future of Earth and the stars. Nilo smiled softly and closed his eyes. The blue light in his heart pulsed gently, like a quiet promise. Rian looked out the window at the stars. The universe was vast and full of mysteries, but with Nilo, the child of two worlds, a new journey had begun. A journey of peace, hope, and endless possibility.